Historic to celebrate. While some African nations are in turmoil, lamenting the abrupt withdrawal of USAID under President Trump's administration, Burkina Faso is standing tall. Why? Because President Captain Ibrahim Taroe saw this reality coming from miles away. He refused to let Burkina Faso be held hostage by foreign aid and made a bold decision, an investment in self-sufficiency, in food security, in the future of his people. And now, while others are crying, Burkina Faso is harvesting its biggest wheat crop ever. Just look at these wheat fields. They stretch as far as the eye can see, golden waves of prosperity swaying in the wind, whispering a story of resilience, vision, and triumph. Can you believe it? 400 tractors purchased in 2024, plowing the land, cultivating a dream, transforming Burkina Faso into an agricultural powerhouse. Who would have thought? Who would have believed that Burkina Faso, a country that was once dependent on foreign wheat imports, would now be producing high-quality wheat in such massive quantities? And let's talk about that wheat. Oh, the quality. Farmers and officials alike are amazed. The grains are full, rich, and nutritious. This is not just wheat. This is a symbol of independence. The days of importing wheat from foreign countries are over. Burkina Faso is feeding its own people, thanks to a leader who believes in self-reliance and national strength. We're talking about an industrial revolution led not by foreign investors, not by external forces, but by the sheer will, determination, and leadership of President Captain Ibrahim Taroe. This is what good governance looks like. This is what leadership is about. Anticipation, preparation, and action. He didn't wait for a crisis to react. He acted before it even happened. And now, while other countries scramble to find alternatives, Burkina Faso is celebrating an agricultural boom. Commander Ismail Sombier himself, the Minister of Agriculture, couldn't hide his amazement when he visited these wheat fields. He tasted the grains, and he was stunned. "It's very good. It's really good," he said. Can you imagine? How did they convince Africa that growing wheat was impossible? How did they make us believe that we had to import what we could produce? Burkina Faso has shattered that illusion. The farmers of Burkina Faso are not just working the land, they are revolutionizing their own destiny. These are not just crops. These are the fruits of freedom. And the government is making sure that every single grain of wheat is put to good use. Even those who cultivated just 1 hectare or a quarter of a hectare have guarantees that their harvest will be bought. This is economic transformation in action. This is how you empower people. This is how you build a nation. But wait, there's more. Burkina Faso's agricultural revolution is not stopping at wheat. The fish industry is booming with the stocking of more than 100,000 tilapia fry in floating cages. The government is investing, supporting, and ensuring that every sector contributes to national self-sufficiency. Imagine, more than 600 tons of fish will be harvested within 5 months. And rice? Oh, don't get us started on rice. Processing units are being built across the country, ensuring that Burkinabe rice dominates the market. President Ibrahim Traore's vision is not just about food. It's about independence, dignity, and prosperity. He is showing Africa that we do not need to rely on foreign aid. We do not need to wait for handouts. We can do it ourselves. And that is exactly what Burkina Faso is proving today. While other African nations are panicking, wondering how they will cope without USAID, Burkina Faso is thriving. While others complain, Burkina Faso celebrates. The wheat harvest is bigger than ever. The economy is stronger than ever. The people are prouder than ever. And let's not forget, this is the power of 400 tractors that have changed the destiny of a nation. So to all our African brothers and sisters watching, let this be a lesson. Self-reliance is the way forward. No more begging. No more dependency. No more waiting for handouts that may never come. President Ibrahim Taroe has shown the way, and Burkina Faso is leading Africa into a new era of prosperity. Burkina Faso, you are an inspiration. To President Ibrahim Taroe, we salute you. To the farmers, the workers, the visionaries, this is your moment. Keep thriving, keep growing, and keep showing the world what is possible. This is Intervlog, bringing you the real stories, the real victories, and the real leaders shaping our future. Burkina Faso, we celebrate you. Burkina Faso. 2 weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew USAID, Commander Ismail Sombier is participating in Africa's largest ever wheat harvest. As part of the monitoring of the 2024 to 2025 dry season, the minister responsible for agriculture, Commander Ismail Sombier, visited agricultural and forestry projects in the province of Comoé, Cascades region, this Monday, February 10, 2025. The minister first visited a mature wheat field, where he witnessed a mechanized harvesting session. After tasting a few grains of wheat, he testified to their quality. It's very good. It's really good. We wonder how they managed to convince us that it's impossible. Until now, some people have doubts. Is it relevant? Is it possible? Can't we do something else? I invite people to read the figures related to imports of wheat flour and derived products. They will understand the importance of engaging in local production and expanding it, he explained. He added that measures are planned to guarantee the sale of Burkinabe wheat as soon as it is harvested. Even producers who have cultivated 1 hectare here, a quarter of a hectare there, must have guarantees to sell their production, he said. Subsequently, the minister went to the Musadugu Dam, still in Comoé, to participate in the inaugural stocking of floating cages, with more than 100,000 tilapia fry, intended for a group of fish producers. More than 600 tons of fish are expected within 5 months. With an investment of 200 million CFA francs, a return of 600 million CFA francs is hoped for by the state. This initiative is part of the Livestock Resilience Project, PRECEL, through which the directorate in charge of fisheries resources aims to produce 100,000 tons of fish per year by stocking water bodies in each region. The Musadugu Dam is the 4th site to benefit from this initiative since the start of the 2023 to 2025 agro-silvo-pastoral and fisheries offensive after Samandeni, Bagre, and Lumbila. The state strongly supports the developers by providing them with floating cages, fry, and subsidized feed of up to 80%, said Mustafa Tassembedo, Director General of Fisheries Resources. For his part, Commander Ismail Sombier stressed the importance of local initiatives so that the populations take ownership of the project. According to him, an increase in the consumption of local fish would reduce import costs and guarantee a healthy diet. His Excellency, Captain Ibrahim Taroe, President of Faso, said last time that he no longer eats fish if it is not fish from our bodies of water. This is a strong signal and an invitation to the entire Burkinabe population to favor our local productions, he stressed. There are 50 promoters of floating cages from Musadugu who benefit from this initiative. Yorawani Sombier, their president, requested easier access to credits to ensure the success of their joint project. The minister then went to Duna to inaugurate the new rice processing unit of the Simplified Cooperative Society of Duna Women Farmers, Scoops ERD, still in the province of Comoé. This unit is equipped with a huller and a steaming device with a capacity of 1 ton of rice per hour. The processed rice is marketed under the brands Riz National Étuve and La Saveur des Cascades. The cooperative also undertakes to supply 500 tons of processed rice per year to Sonages. This ceremony marks the launch of a series of inaugurations of around 30 processing units across the country. Around 10 for rice, around 10 for corn, and around 10 for sweet potatoes. This initiative is part of the promotion of the agro-silvo-pastoral and fisheries offensive of our ministry. which will contribute to a substantial increase in national production, made available to consumers to reduce our dependence on the outside world, said the Director General of the Promotion of the Rural Economy. The speech of Burkina Faso President, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, on the USAID withdrawal. Ladies and gentlemen of Burkina Faso, today I stand before you with great pride and a heart full of gratitude. As we look across our vast and bountiful lands, we do not see despair. No, we see golden fields of wheat stretching beyond the horizon, waving proudly in the wind, whispering a new story, our story, a story of resilience, foresight, and determination. When many African nations tethered themselves to the unpredictable hands of foreign aid, we in Burkina Faso chose a different path. We chose self-reliance. We chose dignity. We chose our future. And now, while others lament the sudden withdrawal of USAID, we stand firm, unshaken, and prosperous. We were prepared. Quand l'horizon est sombre, c'est le moment d'allumer sa propre lampe. When the horizon is dark, that is the time to light your own lamp. We lit our lamp early. Since 2024, my government has made food security a national priority. We refuse to depend on external aid for our survival. Instead, we invested in ourselves. We bought 400 tractors, we trained our farmers, we revitalized our lands, and today, we are reaping the fruits of our labor. Look at our wheat. Just look at it. It is not just wheat, it is independence. It is strength. It is the foundation of a Burkina Faso that will never kneel before foreign powers for survival. These golden grains are our future, our pride, and our proof that African nations can feed themselves. I recently visited one of our wheat farms, and I saw the joy on the faces of our farmers. They no longer worry about whether food aid will come. They no longer fear economic blackmail. They wake up with confidence, knowing that their land is producing, their children will eat, and their country will thrive. Un homme qui dépend de la générosité des autres dort toujours avec une main tendue. A man who depends on the generosity of others always sleeps with his hand outstretched. But not Burkina Faso. We are standing tall with our hands firmly gripping our plows, our tools, and our future. And this is just the beginning. We have not only secured our wheat production, but expanded our agricultural efforts across multiple sectors. We have stocked our waters with over 100,000 tilapia fry, ensuring that our fish production will flourish. We have built processing plants for rice, corn, and sweet potatoes, reducing our reliance on imported goods. We are producing what we eat and eating what we produce. Ladies and gentlemen, self-sufficiency is not a dream. It is happening right now. When President Trump withdrew USAID, the world expected Burkina Faso to suffer. They expected our people to cry out, to struggle, to beg. But instead, we are celebrating our largest wheat harvest in history. While others panic, we are planning our next planting season. While others seek new sources of aid, we are creating new sources of wealth. Le lion qui apprend à chasser n'a plus besoin qu'on lui jette de la viande. The lion that learns to hunt no longer needs to be thrown meat. Burkina Faso is now that lion. We have learned to hunt, to plant, to harvest, and to thrive. This is the Burkina Faso I promised you. A Burkina Faso that does not wait for handouts but works tirelessly for its own success. This is the Burkina Faso I will continue to fight for. To my fellow African leaders, let Burkina Faso be an example to you. Do not wait for crisis before you act. Do not rely on the generosity of others to feed your people. Invest in your land, your farmers, your industries. The power to transform Africa lies in Africa itself. To the people of Burkina Faso, my message is simple. This victory is yours. Every farmer who tilled the soil, every worker who processed the harvest, every leader who believed in this vision, this moment belongs to you. We have proven that we are stronger than dependency, wiser than deception, and braver than uncertainty. And so I say to you, let us not stop here. Let us continue to build, to grow and to secure our nation's future. Let Burkina Faso shine as a beacon of hope and strength, not just for ourselves, but for all of Africa. Que Dieu bénisse le Burkina Faso. May God bless Burkina Faso. Trump administration is pulling almost all USAID workers off the job worldwide. The Trump administration said Tuesday that it is pulling almost all U.S. Agency for International Development workers off the job and out of the field worldwide, moving to all but end a 6-decade mission to shore up American security by fighting starvation, funding education, and working to end epidemics. The administration notified USAID workers in emails and a notice posted online, the latest in a sudden dismantling of the aid agency by returning political appointees from President Donald Trump's first term and billionaire Elon Musk's government efficiency teams who call much of the spending on programs overseas wasteful. The order takes effect just before midnight Friday and gives direct hires of the agency overseas, many of whom have been frantically packing up households in expectation of the announcement. 30 days to return home unless they are deemed essential. Contractors not determined to be essential also would be fired, the notice said. The move had been rumored for several days and was the most extreme of several proposals considered for consolidating the agency into the State Department. Other options had included closures of smaller USAID missions and partial closures of larger ones. Thousands of USAID employees already had been laid off and programs worldwide shut down after Trump, a Republican, imposed a sweeping freeze on foreign assistance. Despite outcry from Democratic lawmakers, the aid agency has been a special target as the new administration and Musk's budget-slashing Department of Government Efficiency look to shrink the federal government. They have ordered a spending stop that has paralyzed U.S.-funded aid and development work around the world, gutted the senior leadership and workforce, with furloughs and firings, and closed Washington headquarters to staffers Monday. Lawmakers said the agency's computer servers were carted away. Spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper, Musk boasted on X. The mass removal of thousands of staffers overseas and in Washington would doom billions of dollars in projects in some 120 countries, including security assistance to partners such as Ukraine, as well as development work for clean water, job training and education, including for schoolgirls under Taliban rule in Afghanistan. The U.S. is the world's largest humanitarian donor by far. It spends less than 1% of its budget on foreign assistance, a smaller share of its budget than some countries. Health programs like those credited with helping end polio and smallpox epidemics, and an acclaimed HIV/AIDS program that saved more than 20 million lives in Africa, already have stopped. So have monitoring and deployments of rapid response teams for contagious diseases, such as an Ebola outbreak in Uganda. Hundreds of millions of dollars of food and medication already delivered by U.S. companies are sitting in ports because of the administration's sudden shutdown of the agency. Democratic lawmakers and others say the USAID is enshrined in legislation as an independent agency and cannot be shut down without congressional approval. Supporters of USAID from both political parties say its work overseas is essential to countering the influence of Russia, China, and other adversaries and rivals abroad, and to cementing alliances and partnerships. The decision to withdraw direct hire staff and their families earlier than their planned departures will likely cost the government tens of millions of dollars in travel and relocation costs. Staff being placed on leave include both foreign and civil service officers who have legal protection against arbitrary dismissal and being placed on leave without reason. The American Foreign Service Association, the union which represents U.S. diplomats, sent a notice to its members denouncing the decision and saying it was preparing legal action to counter or halt it. Locally employed USAID staff, however, do not have much recourse and were excluded from the federal government's voluntary buyout offer. USAID staffers and families faced wrenching decisions as the rumored order loomed, including whether to pull children out of school mid-year. Some gave away pet cats and dogs, fearing the Trump administration would not give them time to complete the paperwork to bring the animals with them. Tuesday's notice said it would consider case-by-case exceptions for those needing more time. But with most of the agency's staff soon off the job, it was unclear who would process such claims or other paperwork needed for the mass removal of thousands of overseas staffers. Musk's teams had taken USAID's website offline over the weekend, and it came back online Tuesday night, with the notice of recall or termination for global staffers its sole post. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog, same time tomorrow. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.